Americans are smart with money. That's what most people believe. Then you find out someone spent $150,000 on a haunted walking cane, a major corporation paid millions for a jar of air, and one purchase so bizarre it triggered a Senate inquiry. And none of it was illegal. 20 purchases, all real, all verified. Your assumptions about American spending won't survive this list. Number 1. A Colorado entrepreneur sold sealed mason jars of fresh mountain air to urban buyers nationwide, marketing it as a wellness product for stress relief. Jars retailed between $15 and $25 each. Documented purchasers skewed heavily toward high-income professionals, revealing that luxury wellness marketing can attach premium pricing to literally any atmospheric content whatsoever. Number 2. An eBay seller listed a captured ghost sealed inside a glass jar and attracted over 130 bids before the auction closed, near $55,000. eBay removed it before payment cleared. The seller relisted 3 times. Researchers noted the bidding momentum was driven almost entirely by competitive psychology rather than any genuine belief in the product. Number 3. A private collector paid $150,000 at a paranormal auction for a Victorian walking cane documented as haunted, complete with sworn witness statements, a spiritualist certification, and a 4-owner chain of custody record. Nothing beyond wood and brass was being sold. The transaction was legal. The U.S. paranormal collectibles market now exceeds $300 million in annual sales. Number 4. A Texas company charged adults up to $800 for a customized imaginary friend, complete with a written backstory, personality profile, weekly handwritten letters, and a dedicated voicemail line. The service ran 3 years before closing. Client data revealed that the majority of paying customers were employed professionals between 35 and 55. Nobody anticipated that demographic. Number 5. A Nevada company sold over 3 million acres of lunar surface to American customers at $20 to $50 per acre. Land nobody can legally own under International Space Treaty law. The company operated openly for decades. No court ever ruled the sales fraudulent because no law explicitly prohibited them either. Number 6. A California service charged up to $500 to send professionally written apology letters on behalf of customers, delivered on premium stationery with no indication the sender had outsourced it. Repeat customers drove over 60% of revenue, almost entirely people who needed to apologize but lacked the emotional capacity to initiate contact themselves. Number 7. An Arizona business charged up to $1,200 for pet portraits painted by other animals. Dogs and cats trained to apply paint to canvas. Each piece was certified with the creating animal's paw print. Demand outpaced supply consistently. 3 pieces later resold through secondary art markets at prices exceeding their original commission value by over 400%. Number 8. A New York company sold personalized rejection letters customers could send to ex-partners, unwanted acquaintances, or persistent salespeople, written in legal-adjacent language implying professional review had concluded unfavorably. Several recipients challenged the letters in small claims court, each time failing because no actionable claim existed within the document's carefully constructed language. Number 9. A Florida entrepreneur sold embossed certificates of bravery to adults who completed tasks they personally found difficult, making phone calls, attending social events, visiting dentists. Certificates arrived in formal packaging. The business grossed over $200,000 its first year. Mental health professionals later cited it as an accidental model for low-cost behavioral reinforcement outside clinical settings. Number 10. A Minnesota entrepreneur built a subscription service sending 1 ordinary rock per month. Common stones from riverbeds and roadsides, packaged with a 1-page geological backstory. Over 4,000 subscribers paid $15 monthly. Retention rates outperformed most digital content platforms, suggesting narrative context alone can sustain consumer spending on objectively valueless physical objects indefinitely. 10 purchases in, and the list hasn't touched the item that triggered a Senate inquiry, the product that accidentally became a federally regulated substance, or the purchase that somehow qualified as a tax-deductible business expense. If this channel is consistently delivering content you didn't expect to find today, the subscribe button is right there. Completely your call. Number 11. A Washington, D.C. entrepreneur sold sealed vials of dirt sourced from outside historically significant American addresses, the White House perimeter, famous battlefields, and landmark courthouse steps. Vials retailed up to $90 each. The National Park Service issued a formal warning because removing material from federal property, even soil, constitutes a federal misdemeanor regardless of quantity. Number 12. A California company offered full-service funeral ceremonies for goldfish. Miniature casket, waterproof memorial card, a trained officiant's eulogy, and burial in a dedicated aquatic pet cemetery. Services started at $400. U.S. pet funeral industry revenues exceed $100 million annually, with aquatic pet services representing the fastest-growing segment driven primarily by millennial and Gen Z spending. Number 13. A New Mexico company charged up to $2,000 for a guided silence experience. Clients driven to a remote desert location and left in monitored stillness for 8 hours with no digital access. The company reached full capacity within months. Stanford researchers later cited it in a study on sensory deprivation demand among high-income populations. Number 14. An Illinois company charged up to $300 to deliver bad news on a customer's behalf. Breakups, rejections, or difficult disclosures via phone, email, or in-person visit. Corporate clients used it for mass layoffs. 2 clients later attempted to use delivery records as litigation evidence, prompting the company to retain a full-time communications attorney. Number 15. An Oregon company charged up to $200 to send professionally written compliments via handwritten card, phone call, or in-person visit from a trained specialist. Packages could be gifted anonymously. A university wellness study later incorporated the service into a clinical trial measuring compliment delivery frequency as an intervention for mild depressive symptoms in isolated adults. Number 16. A Michigan entrepreneur built a subscription delivering curated collections of other people's junk mail, catalogs, flyers, expired coupons, and unsolicited newsletters from willing donors. Subscribers paid $20 monthly, describing it as nostalgic and pressure-free. A media studies researcher later published a paper arguing it represented measurable consumer backlash against algorithmically curated digital content. Number 17. A New York fragrance company captured and replicated the specific ambient scent of customers' homes, analyzing air samples from multiple rooms and synthesizing a custom perfume blend. Prices started at $800. Real estate agents became unexpected commercial clients, purchasing scent profiles of high-value properties to diffuse during open houses as a psychological staging strategy. Number 18. A Texas company charged up to $600 for a trained neutral witness to attend and document arguments, recording key statements, tracking escalation points, and producing a written summary both parties signed. Therapists began referring clients directly. 3 documented cases later used those written summaries as supporting evidence in divorce and business dissolution proceedings. Number 19. A Manhattan company charged $300 monthly for unlimited access to soundproofed nap pods, available by reservation during business hours. Corporate clients purchased bulk memberships for staff wellness programs. Occupancy peaked between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. weekdays, the highest user concentration holding senior executive titles, the demographic least expected to admit needing scheduled midday sleep. 19 purchases in, and the final one is the only item on this list that accidentally triggered a federal regulatory review simply by existing. Nobody intended it. Nobody anticipated it. The product itself was completely harmless, but what it exposed about a gap in American consumer law changed how one agency classifies an entire product category. One purchase left. It's worth staying for. Number 20. An entrepreneur sold monthly subscriptions delivering absolutely nothing. No product, no content, no communication. Subscribers paid $12 monthly for the deliberate absence of anything. Over 1,000 customers enrolled before the FTC opened an inquiry. The review forced regulators to formally define what a consumer product must contain to qualify as a legally deliverable commodity. At the start of this list, the assumption was that Americans are smart with money. 20 purchases later, the more accurate framing might be this: Americans are extraordinarily creative with money. Creative enough to pay for air, for nothing, for silence, for a ghost in a jar. The real question isn't whether any of this is rational, it's whether rationality was ever the point of spending money in the first place.